This is an irrigated corn ear that we watered, and we've been watering it all year long. This is a non-irrigated ear that's just been able to make with the rain that we've gotten this year. And that corn's dealt with a lot of heat stress and water stress.
Something that's different, and irrigation is still relatively small in Alabama. Most of the farmers in the past have said that we don't need rain enough of the year to justify putting in a pivot. But if it's at the right time, or wrong time, I guess you'd call it, and this corn was making 10 days, 2 weeks of being able to turn on the water would be the difference in a crop and no crop, right?
It would.
And in the most case that you wouldn't want to have, we have watered a crop out of the ground. I mean, that's not what you expect in the spring. But if there's been those 21-day stretches where there's no water, no rain, you can water that. You can water it up, so it gives it a nice head start. So,
and generally speaking, when you have a smaller ear of corn, you get less money, right?
You put the same amount of input into that plant as you did the other one.
Yeah,
so it's,
these plants both got the same amount of fertilizer, the same seed, raised both of these plants. And this one is probably nearly double what this one is, because it's bigger around too, which you can't really see. But this one's probably 18 around, and this one's probably 16.
Yeah, corn is unusual. There's certain timing when it's in development that the conditions will regulate the size and of the ear and the number of kernels around. So there's critical timing on the water.
Our friends in the Midwest, now they might have to irrigate their crop from planting all the way through, and here normally we're not having to do that, so that's it's a really benefit for the South, and we've got a lot more water available for us.
We're blessed with a lot of water, groundwater, surface water. We have a lot more variability in soil type. This farm has several different soil types here. Now you see a lot of gravel on the ground. There's some gravel pits. That's what we're actually watering out of. So there's gravel that's come off this place in the past. But so we have to kind of balance those different things, those soil types, the clay, the sand, whatever the case may be, to the crop sometimes, and certainly the watering of the crop.
And that's where our technology stuff is pretty valuable, because some soils may hold the fertility better than others, and some may just raise a better crop than others. So if we're able to kind of quantify that and plan for it, then it makes us more efficient with the things that we're using.
A lot of the soils that we have here are fairly low in organic matter, relatively speaking, and organic matter is like a sponge. It'll hold the nutrients, hold the water longer, and it's just better. And so that's one of the things we try to do all along, and what we're growing is to increase and improve that organic matter and organic material that we leave.
So this cotton's late planted, or else I would have, I have some open bowls somewhere else, but basically we'll have a little square. They call it a square. It looks more like a pyramid, but the square turns into a white blossom. The white blossom will be open for one day. By the end of the day, it'll be pink. So this was a white blossom yesterday, and then the blossom will dry up and fall off like this. It'll be dead, basically. So they say white, red, and dead, and then it'll turn into a bowl, which this will continue to grow, hopefully to be about the size of a $50 or something like that. And that'll be where your cotton comes from.
You were mentioning that, there was a big market for cotton. I'm sorry, for corn. What's it like for cotton? Is it growing market? Is shrinking? Is it stable?
There's a lot of competition for other fibers, whether it's athletic wear, people call it athleisure wear now, much like what you have, the polyester blends, but keeping that demand for cotton is important for us. And so even if those manufacturers will use cotton in that blend, that's better than them not using it at all. So we're trying to enhance that demand and do things through other organizations to promote that usage and keep it up.
You were also mentioning that cotton doesn't need quite as much water, and so how's it doing right now?
this cotton is coming along nicely. It's planted late. A lot of our cotton was later than normal. The rains we've had recently have really helped. We had a pretty good dry spell, and in the heat of the day, these plants might wilt at a different stage. As young as this is, some of this is not wilting, but the water we could use about an inch a week just generally during the growing season for a really ideal cotton crop. So, knowing what the weather has been, we've been having to supplement over here pretty regularly.
I guess compared to corn, like at peak water demand, it could use like 2.5 inches a week. So,
Right.
you know, it's about a little less than half of
Right.
the same demand.
The corn behind you, we were watering 2 inches plus a week at certain stages. That tapers off as the corn matures and it gets past that particular growth stage. But the demand's much higher for corn, and so we tend to push it toward the irrigated acres when we can.
Well, you've talked a little bit about, trade. It's probably impacting cotton as much as anybody right now, wouldn't you say, if you wanted to?
Yes, I think that is certainly the grains, but cotton as well.
Cotton and soybeans specifically, because China is such a big user of cotton. That's been a big blow, and the prices have fallen in the last 6 months. I mean, by 30%. And
It's a pretty good fall. It's in the last. You can put it what the metric you choose. It's heading down,